Hi everybody, welcome to Module 2. We're moving right along in this class. In Module 1 we looked at the groundwork an organization should have or should cover before launching into any kind of fundraising. So we really looked at three things this last couple weeks: ethics, planning, and communication. And hopefully we've also worked out the bugs in Moodle. So I think we're all okay with that now, but it's time to move on. So in this new module, Module 2, we're going to look at three key methods for raising funds. We're going to look at donor relations, special events, and grant writing. But in this particular section, we're going to look at donors specifically. As you've read in your assignments, individual donors make up the biggest piece of any fundraising pie. There was actually $212 billion raised in the year 2010. That's billion with a B. So that's a lot of money. The nice part about raising money from individuals is that it comes with many fewer strings than money would come in from grants, for instance. So that's the preferable fundraising method. So, but in the end, if we're asking money from individuals, we actually have to ask. And we need to get rid of any kind of stigma that's involved in this action. So fundraisers and people in this development career really serve themselves well if they know how to ask for money. And there's some ways to do that. In my experience, these are really the top things you should know about asking people for money. First and foremost is that people give money with their hearts first, and then they use their heads. I think I've said this already in the course, but it's very, very true. The second thing is, don't ever be afraid to ask anyone for money. And if you think of it this way, it might help. Really what you are is a bridge between the donor's philanthropic goals and your organization. You're just helping them go across that bridge and allow their funds to help your organization. If you look at asking for money that way, it's a little simpler, I think. It was for me anyway in my career. Also, you need to see your donors as the partners in your business. If you communicate with them often and tell them what's going on and really give them that partnership sort of mentality, I think things move along quite easily after that. So we're going to look at three key elements to building relationships with your donors. Number one is the ask, which I've just spoken about. Number two is actually analyzing your donors so that you're making the best use of your data. And then number three is actually communicating with your donors. All three of these things are interconnected. You cannot be successful if one leg of that triangle is missing. So always think of these three things as really the triangular base of your fundraising, and that one leg cannot be missing in any way, shape, or form, or you just won't be successful. So you will focus on these three elements in your role as a VISTA for Community Kitchen, and this is very important. Remember to stick to the project parameters and the script of the project here. You will be asked to facilitate the raising of $50,000 for the Summer Community Garden Project, not necessarily the Community Kitchen. Remember that this is a project-specific fundraising effort. So if the assignments do not mention the Summer Community Garden Project and instead only mention Community Kitchen, then I will have to deduct points, unfortunately. So remember, you're raising money for the Summer Community Garden Project, which is a project within the Community Kitchen. I'm not saying you can't mention Community Kitchen, but this is a project-specific task. So as always, there will be an overview email that I'll send out on Monday with additional information about Module 2. So please read that and any other thing that might be posted in the news forum. Also, I wanted to mention great discussion on the ethics question regarding the Livestrong Foundation. A lot of people gave feedback, and it was very interesting to read. I'll throw a few more questions out in the next couple weeks during this module to get the juices flowing again and get some discussion going. So there'll be more of those. And also, as always, please email me with any questions that you may have. And remember that all assignments are due by 11 p.m. your local time on Sundays. There's a little bit of a conflicting information within Moodle. If you look at a calendar in there, I believe it gives different dates, but for some reason we can't change that calendar. So the golden rule is 11 p.m. your local time on Sundays. After that due date, each day that it's late, we have to deduct points. So make sure you get everything on time. So that's it. Thanks. Have a really good module, good training here. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks, everybody.